Usborne Books and More has a lot of fun books, chapter books for children who are learning to read or reading independently. So before I show you some chapter books, I wanted to show you some options for kids who are just learning to read. We have this Read with Usborne series. These are leveled readers 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can get these for $3.99, which is amazing. Definitely worth the cost. And you can see that level 1 is just very simple. Grasshopper sits in the sun. And works. So this isn't for your kids who are just starting to learn how to read. And then you can go up to level 2, which is a little more complicated, but not much. And then level 3 and 4, of course, by the time you get to 4, you are reading quite a bit more story. But these are great because you can get any of them in any order. You can mix and match them. They're all individual books, so they're not a series. It's a great alternative if you don't want to purchase a set, which we definitely have some as well, if you would like more information on a set. But these are great. Then we have these phonics books. These I also love for teaching kids to read. These are some of our newer ones. This is Flamingo Plays Bingo. All of these phonics books, they focus on just a few phonemes at a time, so they all rhyme, and they're all very, very silly too. So they have a wonderful flow to them, and like I said, they all work on just a few different sounds at a time. This is one of our newest ones, Unicorns in Uniforms, and of course my daughter, who loves unicorns, was very excited to get this one. But you can see that it's got fun illustrations, they're quirky, they're fun, they're great for kids who are just learning to sound out. Also, some of our newer ones have this QR code where you can scan it on the back now, and you can actually hear the book being read out loud if you would like your kid to read independently but listen along, which I think is a really cool feature. We have some wonderful new series. Olivia's Secret Scribbles. This is the younger sister to Ella and the Ella Diary. So if you're looking for something a little more complicated, we do have a step above that is a similar fashion to this. But these are adorable because they're kind of graphic. You can see that these are very girly. And it's all about Olivia's days and the drama that goes on in her life. But this is great for a just above first reader. If you're a fan of the Billy B. Brown series, we now have a book that's for slightly older kids. This is Polly and Buster. This is also a great book for your kiddos who might maybe like witches and monsters a little more than they like unicorns or fairies. But anyway, it is basically a witch and a monster that are friends, and they've managed to keep their friendship a secret until something changes. So as you can see, if you've got a Billy B. Brown lover, this is for the kid that's graduated from Billy B. Brown. You can see that it's actually got mostly writing in it, but it's very fun. Great for Halloween time too. We've got this new Double Felix. This is a standalone book right now. I don't know if there'll be new books in the future, but this is about an 11-year-old Felix whose life revolves around the number 2. And he's got kind of like an obsessive compulsive thing going on where his problems become really bad. Then it looks like he'll be expelled from school because he's had enough of Felix trying to run around very specific rules. So it's actually kind of a more serious topic that's dealt with in a little more lighthearted way, but I think it's great for your kiddos that might have some anxiety and normalizing that. But it's a fun story, and it's a funny story as well. So a great option for your late elementary to middle school kiddos who are looking for a new chapter book. This is what I would consider a high school to young adult book. This is 48 hours. This is one kidnapping, one cold case, 2 amateur investigators, 48 hours to solve a crime. And it's basically about someone whose best friend has been kidnapped, and they have a race against time to catch her. But so a little darker, but not like gory, scary dark, but intense, I guess you could say. And it's written with the hours counting down. So it's a cool idea, suspenseful book. You could even read this as an adult and actually be interested in it. Great book for high schoolers, in my opinion. We have some fun options that are not chapter books, or that are chapter books but not series. We have a few of these new, these are like stepping stones into our illustrated stories. This is called Two Sides, and you could see that these have quite a bit of writing in them, but not super hard. And this is about Lula and Lenka. They're best friends and they're opposites. And then they are getting along really well, and then something goes wrong. And it's a book about, you know, perspective and how there's different sides to the story, which is great. This is a standalone book, but we have several of different types. If this one doesn't do it for you, we have different stories. We have these beautiful illustrated originals, and now we have the Wizard of Oz. I had to get this one because it's just so pretty. But anyway, this is actually an unabridged Wizard of Oz with some pictures in it. So you've got the full story here. We've got Little Women, we've got White Fang, we've got several classics. So if there's a classic you're looking for, let me know. But I just had to get this one, it's so pretty. Last but not least, this is a really interesting book I wanted to share with you guys. This is called Vasilia the Wise, and these are fairy tales, but where young women are not they're the heroines, but they're not like being saved like princesses. These are where they're actually the heroes. These are wise women of the clan, as they spun and wove and stirred their pots and made their potions. So these are old tales that have been retold now. It's a little bit darker, but, and these are definitely, you know, small print, so you can see these are really for more high schoolers. But if you're looking for a book with strong female characters, I would highly recommend this Vasilia the Wise book. It's one I'm going to keep for my daughter, I know for sure. Hope you enjoyed that little look into some of our fiction for older kids.